Hello everyone, I have started a video series on the topic Five Kingdom System of Classification of the Organism. In my previous video, I discussed in detail about the concept of Five Kingdom Systems which is proposed by R. H. Whitaker in 1969. He placed all the organisms present on the earth into five different kingdoms like Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. I discuss about the general outline of all the kingdoms, then subtype of organisms which is present in every kingdom and their characteristic feature. In this video, I am going to discuss about first kingdom, that is kingdom Monera. Okay, this is the kingdom which include all the prokaryotic organism present on the earth. This kingdom have three major groups of the organism like Archaebacteria, Eubacteria and Mycoplasma. In this lecture, I am going to focus on Archaebacteria. While in my upcoming videos, I am going to discuss Eubacteria and Mycoplasma. So, what is Archaebacteria? Archaebacteria are the ancient bacteria. That means many scientists believe that these are the life forms which is present first time on the earth. That means they originate very early. Okay, they are the oldest bacteria or oldest living forms present on the earth. So we call them as ancient bacteria or archaebacteria. Why this is believed? Because scientists know that they are able to grow at extreme conditions. These bacteria have ability to grow at extreme climate. That means they have ability to grow at a very high salt concentration, at a very high temperature, then at very low or very high pH. So all the extreme conditions are suitable for growth of archaebacteria. Generally, archaebacteria is a prokaryotic organism, so they lack nucleus. Okay, nucleus is absent. Nuclear membrane, nucleolus, then functional well characterized histone proteins are absent in these organisms. DNA is directly suspended in the cytoplasm of the cell and true chromosomes are also absent. DNA is called as nucleoid. That means DNA or genetic material is present in the form of nucleoid. Then the organism show reproduction by binary fission, budding. Okay, so these two are the important type of reproduction which is observed in the archaebacteria. Sexual reproduction is absent in this group of organisms. So reproduction is by binary fission and budding. Sometimes fragmentation also occur at the time of cell division. Then mode of nutrition in these organisms are mostly heterotrophic. That means they are unable to make their own food material. Sometimes some archaebacterial species are autotrophic, but majority are heterotrophic. The archaebacteria is a prokaryotic cell, so they do not show well-developed organ like mitochondria, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum. But 70S ribosomes, which is a characteristic feature of the prokaryotic cell, is present in the archaebacterial cell. Okay, archaebacteria generally have different type of organisms, but three are well characterized like methanogens, then thermophiles and halophils. So these three type of organisms is well known in the group Archaebacteria. I am going to discuss every type in detail. First is methanogens. These are the organisms which generally grow in anaerobic conditions. That means they do not require oxygen for their growth, and they have ability to produce methane. They use carbon dioxide and hydrogen to produce methane. They generally found in the digestive tract of ruminant or digestive tract of animals. Okay, where they found all the conditions suitable for their growth, like anaerobic condition is present, then carbon and hydrogen is available for synthesis of methane. The next organism is thermophiles. Okay, thermo means temperature and philes means living, loving. These organisms love high temperature for their growth. That means they have ability to grow up to 100 degrees Celsius, or in boiling water bath like hot spring. They also found thermophilic organisms. Okay, why they have ability to grow at a very high temperature? Because their enzymes, okay, their macromolecules are quite different from the normal bacteria, and they can easily survive at a very high temperature. Well-known thermophilic organism is Thermus aquaticus, which is used in polymerase chain reaction. The enzyme of the Thermus aquaticus, which used in the PCR, is Taq polymerase. Okay, so from this bacterium, scientists isolate Taq polymerase enzyme, and by using this enzyme, scientists develop a technique called polymerase chain reaction. PCR reaction carry out at a very high temperature, and our enzymes are a normal organism polymerase enzyme unable to remain active at a high temperature. So they use enzyme from thermophiles. Okay, because the enzymes of these organisms are stable at a very high temperature, and one well-known enzyme is Taq polymerase. The last group of the organism is halophiles. Halophiles are the living forms which are able to grow at a very high salt concentration. Halo means salt and philes means living. They are the organism which can grow up to 3 or 4 molar salt concentration medium. Okay, they found in a dead sea where none of the other organism have ability to grow. This is happened because they have quite different type of cell wall and cell membrane. We know that if we place normal bacteria in a high salt concentration solution, in that case water generally travel from low salt concentration to high salt concentration. Okay, it is called as osmosis, and due to osmosis, exoosmosis, all the water from the cell come out in the medium due to high salt concentration, and exoosmosis occur, which lead to dehydration and death of the normal bacterial cell. But these halophiles can grow at a very high salt concentration because exoosmosis cannot occur inside these type of cells. Okay, so this is all about introduction of the archaebacteria. The question remain in everyone's mind is that how these archaebacteria are able to survive at a very harsh condition. This is happened because these bacteria have quite different cell wall and cell membrane. When we compare the structure of the molecule which is present in the cell wall of archaebacteria from the normal bacteria, we can easily found that these organisms have quite different components in their cell wall and cell membrane, and because of that they are able to survive in a very hard environment. First I am going to discuss about the cell wall, comparison of the cell wall of normal bacteria and archaebacteria. Normal bacteria, we know that normal bacteria always have peptidoglycan in their cell wall. Okay, this peptidoglycan molecule is made up of two type of carbohydrate or sugar, N-acetylmuramic acid, N-acetyl-glycosamine, and both these sugars are alternatingly attached to each other by beta 1,4-glycosidic linkage. So this is N-acetylmuramic acid, this is N-acetylglucosamine, and alternating unit of both the sugars make heteropolysaccharide, which is the component of peptidoglycan. Now this NAM of the peptidoglycan have D amino acid. Okay, different type of amino acid which is found attached to the NAM is L-alanine, D-glutamate, meso-DAP, D-alanine, D-alanine. This is the structure of peptidoglycan molecule present in the normal bacteria, which having two type of sugar, N-acetylmuramic acid, N-acetylglycosamine, connected to each other by beta-1 for glycosidic linkage and chain of the amino acid. Okay. Now, if we compare this with the molecule which is present in the archaebacterial cell wall, you can easily find the difference. The molecule which generally present in the archaebacterial cell wall is called pseudopeptidoglycan or pseudomurine. This molecule is composed of N-acetyl tallosminuronic acid instead of NAM. This archaebacterial cell wall have N-acetyl tallosminuronic acid. Okay, NAG is present as it is. So this molecule is present in both bacteria and archaebacteria, but bacterial cell wall have N-acetylmuramic acid, while archaebacterial cell wall have N-acetyl tallosminuronic acid. Okay, this is the first difference. And second difference is that the amino acid which is found attached to the N-acetyl tallosminuronic acid in archaea is L amino acids. Okay, so all the 5 amino acid is L amino acids. This is the second difference in the molecule. The third difference is that NAM and NAG is attached with beta-1 for glycosidic linkage is in peptidoglycan, while in case of pseudomurine, N-acetyl tallosminuronic acid and N-acetyl glucosamine are attached with beta-1,3 glycosidic bond. Okay, and due to this structure of pseudomurine is quite different from the peptidoglycan, which is more stable from the normal peptidoglycan. So this cell wall is more rigid, more strong than the normal bacterial cell wall. So this cell wall provide more protection to the archaebacteria. The next change is found in the cell membrane. Okay, we know that the normal bacterial cell membrane is made up of phospholipid. Okay, and the lipid which is present in the normal bacterial cell wall is composed of glycerol and fatty acid. If I draw the structure of glycerol, okay, it will look like this: CH2, CH, CH2OH. Now, fatty acids are attached to the carbon atom of the glycerol by ester bond. Okay, here you can see the chain of carbon, which is fatty acid. And this bond is ester bond. So, normal bacterial cell membrane is composed of glycerol and fatty acids, which are connected to one another by ester bond. But when we see the lipid of the archaebacteria, you can easily mark the difference. The archaebacterial lipid is made up of glycerol and branched hydrocarbons. So, here you can see glycerol is present as it is in the normal bacteria and archaebacteria, but instead of ester bond, ether linkage, ether bond is present, and instead of normal fatty acid, branched hydrocarbons are present in the archaebacterial cell membrane, and because of this difference the archaebacterial cell membrane become more stable than the normal bacteria, so archaebacteria are able to survive at a very harsh conditions. So in this lecture I discuss in detail about the first group of the kingdom Monera, that is archaebacteria. I discuss about the introductory part of the Archaebacteria. Then three main examples of Archaebacteria like methanogens, thermophiles, and halophiles. And then I discuss about the structure of cell wall of Archaebacteria and cell membrane of the Archaebacteria. In my next video, I am going to discuss about remaining group of the kingdom Monera. Thank you.